It's the sort of scene you'd expect to see in a crime drama, and it all played out just meters from the Trans-Canada Highway. Right in the middle of Gershaw Drive, police stopped, surrounded, and stormed a vehicle being driven by a man armed with a gun. They described it as a high-risk stop and took no chances. But this suspect wasn't going to be taken alive. It's not clear exactly how or when, but at some point before police approached the vehicle, the suspect died. Instead of taking him into custody, police were forced to load him into an ambulance. Officers on the scene indicate that pretty much the entire city police force was brought out to handle this armed standoff. The entire neighborhood was blocked off for well over an hour, including the busy Gershaw Drive Highway 3. However, it wasn't until many hours later in the afternoon that we found out details on exactly what happened here.
And that vehicle and the male associated to the vehicle was a suspect in the shooting at Cooper Road.
And that brings us to what occurred last night. Shortly after 11 p.m., gunshots were heard coming from this home in the 0 block of Cooper Road. When police arrived, they found a person who had suffered several gunshot wounds. They were rushed to hospital and are now described as being in stable condition with a good prognosis. The victim's identity has not yet been released, but the man who died in this morning's armed standoff with police is identified as 30-year-old Matthew Gregor. While police are not saying if he was the shooter in last night's incident, they do say they're no longer searching for any other suspects.
In the investigation at this time, we believe that there's no risk to the public. We have no other indications that there's any other concerns at this time that would lead us to fear for anybody's safety or the community as a whole.
Brandt admits that there's still a lot of information missing from this situation. They're still trying to put the pieces together of what occurred between last night's shooting and this morning's standoff. He hopes to have more answers for the public in the days ahead. Dale Hunter, Newswatch.
And to add on to that, well, Brandt admits it is a tragic incident today with somebody dying. He says he is pleased with how officers conducted themselves. He also points out no members of the public were ever in any danger during this morning's incident.